It's not an exaggeration to say that computers are everywhere in our lives. Your smartphone, your laptop, your desktop, your tablet, all of these are fundamentally computers. But what do I mean by a computer, and why have these computers that we have gotten so cheap and accessible in the last few decades? To understand this, we can look at Moore's Law, which is not a legal law, but actually just an observation that has driven the tech industry to the amazing heights we see today. To understand Moore's Law, we first need to know what a transistor is. You've probably heard of transistors in electronic equipment. A transistor is simply put a binary switch that can be on or off. By using many of these transistors, computers calculate and perform everything we want them to, from solving an algebra equation to uploading a picture to Instagram. Back to Moore's Law. You might have heard of Intel, a company that makes processors for computers. Over 50 years ago, in 1965, Intel co-founder Gordon Moore observed that the amount of transistors per square inch on Intel's processors had doubled every year. Moore's Law goes on to state that for the foreseeable future, this doubling behavior will continue as technology advances and we can make transistors smaller. Why is doubling the transistor density good? When we make the transistor smaller, as companies like Intel have been doing, we can design more powerful computers. But perhaps even more importantly in our modern world that's full of battery-powered devices, we can design much more power-efficient processors that consume less energy for the same, if not greater, performance. This principle has led to computers coming down significantly in price, to the point where we can buy a simple computer like a Raspberry Pi for just $30 or even less. As technology and performance increases, hardware manufacturers like Apple can continue to make more powerful hardware for less money. Take, for example, the iPhone 7 being faster than the iPhone 6s. The iPhone 6s is actually still a very fast phone, and you can buy it now for less than you would have paid for a year ago when it was new. We see this all the time in the technology industry thanks to Moore's Law. This has also made industries like the Internet of Things possible. This is a world where your refrigerator, your washing machine, and entire home can be full of tiny, cheap devices embedded in everything you own that can communicate with each other and make your life smarter, such as turning your lights and the heating on in winter when it detects from your phone's GPS that you're near your house. However, Moore's Law is not really a law. While it has inspired and seen amazing advances in the technology industry, it's not a universal truth that can't be broken. By doubling transistor size approximately every year or 18 months for 50 plus years, companies like Intel have gotten to the point where they're currently working on making 10 nanometer processors. That means they're able to manufacture transistors as small as 10 nanometers. For some perspective, the diameter of your hair is 75,000 nanometers. At sizes this small, we start to run into physics problems. Silicon has been used a lot in modern processors, hence the name Silicon Valley. We are starting to reach the limits of how small we can make chips with silicon. It's becoming increasingly expensive and difficult to make chips much smaller than they currently are, as it can be difficult to control the temperature of transistors so densely packed when you're near the atomic level. The size of an individual silicon atom is actually around 0.2 nanometers, giving you little elbow room as chips edge closer to that number. When you become that tiny, things become increasingly unstable and unpredictable. Communication between all of these individual transistors in a chip also starts to become a problem when you have so many packed into an increasingly small area. That's not to say we're doomed to a stagnation of technology. Silicon will still be widely used in the foreseeable future, and perhaps by using other materials integrated into silicon, we can improve the performance of it even farther than we've already come. The age of rapid hardware advancement may be declining, but we still have a ways to go in terms of optimizing the way we make hardware and software for specific tasks, like artificial intelligence and computer vision for self-driving cars. Wherever the future goes, you can bet the advancement of technology, physical or software-based, won't stop.